Alltså bullshit.
Nej, vad gör du? Vad nu dör du? Nej. Det är lugnt. Men du, de kommer att se oss om vi springer sådär. Nej. Ja, du delar ju dig själv. Du slutar, gör inte.
Men
jag har inte prövat det. Nej, kan jag inte.
fan.
Jag visste att du legit skulle göra det här.
Krånglig superchat.
Kommer sen.
Okej, så nu hoppar vi in i ett game och det är bara dags att dö. Och chef Elias, bara så du vet, jag råkade skriva fel. Och visst, du har 100 subs säkert. Du har 6 subs. Jag vill nog se. Jag har 6. Ja, 100. Okej, bestäm du vad jag ska hoppa. Skriv i chatten. Snabbt. Du får vara någonstans. Kom här. Skriv fort. Okej, någon i chatten, bara skriv. Okej, Goosey Go. Eller ja, jag tycker faktiskt det var ganska bra glitch. Okej, hype. Solo vs squad. Hype in the super chat. Oh my god. Hi. Oh fuck. Okay. Pajas. Hype för det där. Ärligt talat, jag börjar bli fett lack på den här Taros. Den som får det första får en ting. Eller jo, found
We'll be finding out what happened after I dropped Salty Springs 100 times. I wanted to learn a little bit more about Fortnite and maybe increase my skill along the way, and I thought one of the best ways to do that was to main a location like Salty Springs. So I dropped into Salty Springs 100 times, cataloged what happened, and this video is going to be going over those events. And yes, I do play Fortnite on console, don't make fun of me for it, I'm sort of sensitive. And before we start this video, it's sort of sad that I have to address this, but all of this is legit. This isn't clickbait, and I actually did drop Salty Springs 100 times. I have just about 200 gigabytes of Fortnite footage of me just dropping Salty Springs. I feel like now I know Salty like the back of my hand. And now, it's time to give that information to you. So without further ado, I dropped Salty Springs 100 times. And this is what happened. This is my normal intro, and it normally has Halo music, but this is a Fortnite video. I guess this would be a good time to further explain why I wanted in the first place, because anyone I told that I was dropping Salty Springs 100 times, they all gave me this look like, why? Salty Springs is cool and all, but why would you ever want to drop somewhere 100 times? You definitely don't need to drop somewhere 100 times to understand how good that place is. I wanted to get good at Fortnite, and I thought one of the best ways to do that was to learn if I could drop into a location and know everything about that location, namely where all the chests and ammo boxes spawn, then I might have a better chance of doing it with Fortnite. But I did take it one step further.
Nej, vänta. Det där var en easy headshot.
And when you're dropping Salty Springs, it's also important to note that even if you're not technically in the circle, meaning the circle is sort of away from Salty Springs, it's always fairly close, at least the first one. So tactically, at least for the end game, dropping Salty Springs can give you an advantage over other players in the match. But because it's in the middle, there's going to be a fight. Not there might be a fight. No, there is going to be a fight. If you're going to drop Salty Springs, be ready to kill some. It gets heavy. And if you're not ready for the heat, just default dance your way down to Fatal Fields, you noob. But this is the perfect time to start talking about when I was a noob, at least the noob in Salty Springs. Now I'm bringing you all to game number 1. My first drop in Salty Springs, I guess I really didn't know what to think. But then still be talking. I looted the house that I dropped into, and instead of exploring Salty, I decided just to run north. I saw this noob guy just running around with a default skin. I got him real low in health, but then he started to build up on me, and that was ultimately my downfall. Remember, I was dropping Salty Springs 100 times to not only learn Salty Springs, but also to get good at the game in general. Game 2, I dropped in on the same house that I dropped in game 1, because I thought, hey, Loot wasn't that bad. Sure, I got nutted on by a noob, but hey, maybe I learned from my mistakes. I had a small confrontation with a Rustlord that had no weapon. Yes, I gave him the sweet mercy of death. I also killed this guy, who probably should have killed me in all honesty. He had a shotgun, I didn't. He was just more newbie than I was. This time I decided to record chests that were hidden around Salty Springs. Right now I'm in the gas station, which can be a pretty good place to go if you have nowhere else to drop in Salty Springs, but be very careful in the middle of the map and not much cover. I continued my slaughter of Salty Springs, taking down a John Glich. And if you get good at Salty Springs, this is sort of literally special. There's going to be a lot of houses that people are going to go to, and you can kill everyone, clearing out all of Salty Springs, and your loot will look pretty good. Sure, there's skill in Fortnite, but having a good shotgun helps quite a bit. After getting a ton of kills, not really knowing what my next move was going to be, I built up in Salty Springs, because the circle was still upon me. Every now and then you'd have a guy pop shots at you with a crossbow or sniper rifle, but my loot was good enough that most of the time I just scared him off anyway. Honestly, I don't think Salty's too bad of a place to build up in, especially if the circle is in a nice location like it was for me here. I was able to funnel people in, kill them fairly easily. Ultimately, what my downfall was being quite a bit cocky. Now, I did have 6 kills at the time, and killing John Wick with a nice headshot made it 7. But I kind of thought in my head that no one was going to even try to kill me because I had such good loot, and I was in a safe location, I was going to be totally fine. And this is more of a general tip, not necessarily a tip specifically for Salty Springs, but don't ever assume that you're safe, because it's probably likely that you're not, especially if you drop into somewhere like Salty Springs, which is a named location. There's going to be lots of traffic, and that's why I died. Alright, now it's time for game 3. I dropped into the same house that I dropped into before, got some decent loot, and went on to go kill. This is pretty much how I dropped into Salty Springs from here on out. Of course, the house has changed throughout these 100 games, but at the start, it's one brick house with my
Oh my god!
Or how high you can build over your opponent. At the end of the day, if you have to run too far into the circle, it's going to be very difficult for you to get the win. You're constantly going to be fighting people, and eventually someone will get a lucky headshot. Or in my case, you'll be stuck on 10 health and some noob with no skin will kill you. I think game 4 is just another testament to how good Salty Springs can be to you. If you drop Salty Springs and you're decent at slaying, you can leave with some pretty good loot, and probably you'll make it to the end game. Game 4, I made it out of Salty Springs with a lot of messy kills, but also a lot of pretty decent loot. I not only had a sniper, but also a heavy shotgun and a purple rocket launcher, which means I was probably going to have at least a decent chance of winning. Salty Springs can set you up with some pretty decent loot, but you still have to be good to get the win. It's not handed to you by any means. Remember, this is only game 4, but I basically let this guy build right over the top of me, and I didn't do anything to stop him. It was an easy kill for me. And I think we've come to our first real problem here. You see, I only just got done with explaining game number 4, and there are literally 96 more games that I have to get through. Alright, well technically I lost the footage for game number 5 and 65, I must have not hit record, and that's why you're seeing game number 6 right now. But I think if we pick up the pace, we can get through the rest of them. I think you guys already have grasped the idea of Salty Springs. It is a good place to go, decently. It's also a great place to go if you want to get one-ticked by a guy with a heavy shotgun. Game 7 started fairly explosively. I got this John Wick down to very low health with my SMGs. I had very little loot this game. There were no chests in the brick house. Then this noob shows up with his tag shotgun. Probably should have killed me, but with my jumping, I came out on top. I just realized I called this guy John Wick. He was clearly not. Oh well, I acknowledge it, so you can't crucify me for it. In the end, I died quite tragically by a guy who was just clearly better. Game 8 was the first game that I dropped into the crack house. Now that's that big delay.
Nej. Skojar du alltså? Så ärligt talat. Vem kallar du svarting? Vad sagt mig? Det här är helt danska. Där är det engelska. Inte.
What we're gonna do? So, are you ready? For re-examination.
We've got lots of time. Okay, I just changed the bed and marked out who says what. It's not that hard. If you can take components, same. Yeah, but we're hosting only you're awesome.
What do I talk about? I don't get it.
You talk about the water. Easy, right?
No, okay.
You're motivated with it or you're marrying? Cool.
And the date. Tonight?
You better fucking pass it.
I will.
Ready? Yeah, let's do it.
Isn't that your dad?
Dad. Hey.
We have to leave. Why don't you answer your phone? It's serious.
I've got to make
This is serious. Go home. Go home and stay there. Come on.
But we've got Rubik's and
Yes, we're out next.
How am I gonna pass now? Mom and Rasmus are in the car.
Dad, what are you talking about?
It's gonna rain soon. We can't be here when it starts.
Rain?
Ja, jag ska sluta spela nu.
du sa att du måste säga nej till mig.
Vadå, så jag ska säga ja till dig om allting eller?
Ja.
Nej.
Jo, för du är min hund.
Nej, jag är inte din hund.
Måste.
Håll käften. Håll käften. Håll käften. Du är en hund.
Kom då.
Käften. Håll käften.
Kom då.
Håll käften.
Kom då.
Stick.
Emo, kom då.
Säg inte så, fatta. Annars kommer jag slå sönder. Gå. Idiot.
Hallå, vad sa du? Vad sa du?
Håll käften.
Hallå, Alexander. Du
Idiot.
vet själv vad det gäller, va? Idiot.
Jag kallar dig idiot igen. Jävla emo.
Kom då.
Jävla emo. Jävla emo. 15 mil över. Ja.
Tjo. Hej, en stock Nox kostar 230 spänn. Ska du kolla mot dig också? Ja, men alltså din... Ja, men jag kan undra alltså. För jag kommer faktiskt undra. Ja. Jo, men exakt. Så jag kan hålla på dem. Om jag gör det. Nej, alltså Nox original. Ja, exakt. 230 spänn. Det är faktiskt ett visst pris. Det är därför man tar in det här. Ja, men då så. Eller vill du ha stark? Gå på samma pris. Ja. Ja, men då så. Ja, jag får väl någon gång idag. Ja, det är tjuv.
Ouch.
Simon. Ja. Ja, jag ska få... Nej, han fixar det. Jag säger att han ska fixa det. 19 har jag. Ja, jag kommer. Tjo.
Oh my. Oh my god. Hur dog jag? Jag hade 200. Precis, jag ska inte. Så.